What's going on, everyone? Jan Hella here, and today we're gonna take a look into Megatron. I mean, he's a pretty prominent figure when it comes to Transformers. I mean, being the main antagonist and all that, and the leader of the Decepticons, he's kind of necessary. But the question is, how many Megatrons is too many Megatrons? And right here we have the Earthrise version of Megatron, which, in my opinion, is actually one of the weakest Megatron figures to come out as of late. It was a valiant effort to make him look more cartoon accurate. Let's be honest, it doesn't look that good, and for whatever reason, he's crooked. What the hell? My previous Megatron, Toy World, Hegemon, whatever you want to call it, Digimon. This was, and kind of still is, my leading Megatron toy for the classics scaled Transformer collection I have. He's great. There's obviously its own flaws. He just lacks that form of articulation. Okay. So the main reason why he's still the leading Megatron in my collection is solely because of his stature. He's not eye-lined with the rest of the Decepticons, and I kind of like that. I kind of like him being just hulking over them by just a little bit more. Granted, he's not the best Megatron out there. So between them all, I will have to say this Walmart version of Megatron is pretty damn cool. The only thing that holds him back from being my main representation of Megatron is because he is so much more overdone in terms of battle damage, paint application than the rest. And he's metallic, and that kind of throws off the whole vibe with the rest of them. That's why he's not my main Megatron. And I also have this little guy, Super 7 Megatron. And it's kind of cool. You know, they're a nice little nod to Action Masters back in the day. I never had the Action Master Megatron. Getting him now is kind of neat. But the question is, how many more Megatrons in this scale do we truly need? And with the new Transformers Red line, do we need another? Let's find out. All right, and so here we have it. Robot Enhanced Design Transformers Megatron. It's cool, you know, the concept is super dope. I do like the Action Master aspect of these kind of toys. Is it necessary? I don't know. This was the only one I saw on shelves, and it was just by chance. So I figured, why not, right? It wouldn't be the worst one to look at. Is this line necessary? I don't know. Going by how busted this box is, I'm assuming somebody thought they were going to be able to sell it and decided no. Whether it is or isn't worth it, we'll find out. Man, if I got a repackaged toy, that would suck. Here's Megatron in all his Megatron-y glory, I guess. I gotta say, these guys are heftier than I thought they were gonna be. Definitely has some heft to it, some weight. That's kind of neat. Oh, there. Look at that guy. But that's a pretty, wow. Okay, that's cool. That's a super dope ratcheting ab crunch. But if they all don't have it, then what's the point? I grew up with Action Masters, and as much articulation as they did not really have, just going from here, here, here. Like, getting something that is as much of an Action Master as you're gonna get as an adult is, man, pretty neat. And as many times as I've reiterated in several videos thus far, I keep all my toys in robot mode. So maybe I should just get more of these guys? No, I like transforming toys. I like the transformation aspect. They're Transformers and they need to be Transformers. But I won't lie, this R.E.D line is pretty neat so far. That's kind of pointless. He has a little bit of a ankle tilt, but his legs are so blocky that they don't really tilt as much as they should. So I definitely think this is a very cool cartoon representation of Megatron. Like I've said, the Earthrise version is just kind of not doing it for me in terms of being the quintessential cartoon Megatron. Granted, he's not gonna go into my classic scale collection by any means. But when it comes down to a toy representation of a cartoon Megatron, he does it for me, and the Earthrise version does not. That's where he gets the plus. And accessory rice, he gets an Energon holding hand, a pointer finger, an open hand, a fist. Cool, I guess. But they're all left hands, and there's no right hands. And that's a little off for me. I get it, he's always gonna be using his fist to blast his fusion cannon. I totally get it, but I think having a couple of hands here on this side would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having a pointer finger on this hand versus the left, but yeah, I don't know. That was kind of an oversight in my opinion. Can you even take off the fusion cannon? As far as I can tell, you can't take out the fusion cannon. When will his mace come into play? It won't. The articulation on these guys is pretty dope. He has nice little articulated ball jointed neck. Swivels around pretty well. He can look up in the sky a decent amount. He'll look down at the ground before he shoots Ironhide in the face. He's got these, cool little shoulder hinges where it comes up a pretty decent amount. He'll never be posed this way, but it's cool, I guess. Then obviously we mentioned the fantastic ab crunch, waist swivel. The skirts come up so you can get some decent splitting action. Thigh swivel, legs come up. You can kick you in the nuts. Of course, you can do a nice little ballerina kick in the back. Double jointed knees, which is super impressive. Oh, that was a little sketchy. Super impressive double jointed knees. Like I said, the weird little ankle tilt earlier, it doesn't amount to much, but it's there if you absolutely need it. And since the hands do pop out, they do swivel. I think some of them have a hinge. So they do have nice little hinges in the wrist, so you can sit there and wonder, what is the fate of his toy line? Where does this guy fit in your collections? Comment below. Unless you're getting the entire cast or the entire series of this, Transformers R.E.D, where do these things fit in your collection? Being roughly a 6-inch Transformers figure isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't really do much overall. I mean, a little bit close to scale with, the Voyager class Optimus Primes, but I want my Megatron to be bigger than Optimus Prime, but even just a little bit. Don't really see myself putting him with my classics toys. I think that's hilarious. How do you know that? I thought that these guys would be just the same height as Marvel Legends. No, they are considerably shorter. They are a full head shorter than Marvel Legends. That's a big surprise to me. The fact that he's shorter than Marvel Legends is kind of wild. What is the point of this scale? Jeez. It's just like this, right? It's very similar to the Action Master style toys where they kind of exist in their own realm. They don't really fit in anywhere else, and that's fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But for me and the price point and the hassle of Walmart, I don't see myself collecting this line outside of a few key characters, if that. I don't know how necessary this R.E.D line is. Having the nostalgia of an Action Master type of toy as an adult with the articulation you imagine in your head as a kid is pretty cool. I can't lie. If the Transformers R.E.D line appeals to your needs as a collector, why not, Or if it's something that you're going to introduce your kids to at some point, or nieces, nephews, I think you can find value in that. I just don't know the point, I guess. And that's the hard part. I feel if they were really making a big push for these to appeal to kids, then there should have been way more than 3 figures coming out this holiday season. But I definitely feel this is modeled towards collectors, hence why these little bit of accessories and, nostalgic points of, hey, remember when his blaster cannon came off and his mace came out of his forearm and they fought on top of a dam? Yeah, it's really appealing to the collectors, not so much for the kids. So I think what would have really brought this line into the fold of the general Transformer collectors would be if they had ports. You can use the effects from the Transformer Siege line into these guys and vice versa, right? That would have been cool if you can do that. But whether it's going to be viewed as an oversight or not is a whole nother story. I'm sure some third-party company will make it a blast effect that goes over the fusion cannon. But if you had a little port in here that was compatible for the rest of the Siege blast effects, that would have been cool, because if these guys came with more accessories like this that were too compatible with those 5mm ports from the classic stuff, I would have been all about it. But alas, they didn't. Is he the quintessential Megatron for my collection? Absolutely not. Is he a good representation of the cartoon Megatron I grew up with? Yes. Do I need him? No. And with that, till the next time, pomp hard. Let's be honest, it doesn't look that good. And for whatever reason, he's crooked. What the hell? Stand up, fool. Why are you crooked? That is hella weird. Are you actually imbalanced? That's hilarious. I have no idea why he is literally... Oh, dumbass. That is a recipe for... Oh, hey, don't touch the glass. Yeah, that's fantastic. Can't lie. I am way too juiced over this ratcheting. Little tattletale. Megatron, who you snitching on?